right, so pitching and chipping with the Alignment Made Easy, I would say from a starting reference point, I would get it set up how I have it set up right now, just in a very standard position, okay? And instead of trying to do stuff, or let's just say, instead of trying to do stuff, let's just hit some shots with everything being square and actually see what you do and what your patterns are. So if you were to stand up here and hit some shots, after a dozen or so shots, you'd start to get an idea like, oh, like the line is more this way now, or oh, the line is more this way now, or whatever it is. You'll start to get a really good inclination of what you're actually doing while you're hitting pitch shots or chip shots, right? So, if I go through and I hit some shots here, like the first thing that I notice is like my ball position's a little bit forward. It's kind of like in my left instep. And I notice that my eyesight, my peripheral here, like the red alignment or the red club face indicator is towards the back of the ball. So I tend to get the ball forward. I tend to get my eyes forward, right? And then from there, that helps me control my angle of attack. And it's something that I've always stressed in my pitching. So I have the ball forward, I have my eyes forward, right? And then from there, I'm just working on hitting the ground the same way every time and moving through the shot as similarly as I can, hitting the same shot over and over again here, doing some block chipping practice. After, like I said, like a dozen or so shots, then you can be like, okay, here's what I'm doing, why am I doing that, or like what's the purpose for that? Like if you, like clearly, like if your head's back and you're like this is not a good way to pitch and chip the ball. Like I would talk you out of that. Like, so like if you set up and you see a lot of grass between the ball this way, like if your perspective is looking into the ball this way, you're gonna have way too much handle lean and you're gonna have too much side tilt in your spine, and it's gonna cause you to get overly shallow, trying to get narrow to get steep, and you're not gonna hit the ground in the right spot. All right, one of the great things that I like about using the Alignment Made Easy when I pitch is that it helps me really focus on low point without thinking about low point. It helps me focus on it subconsciously. So as I'm setting up, I can get my chest, like basically like my belt buckle, my breastbone, like the center of my rib cage, even with the ball or even slightly in front of it if I want to. And then from there, I can stay centered and rotate and pivot really neutral and hit a bunch of solid pitch shots. And it's just a great indicator for what I want to do or what you may already be doing. That at least then you know, okay, I'm setting up square. This is my intermediate target, this red stick here. And I know everything's congruent with what I'm actually trying to do with the golf ball. So with that being said, it's a great way to kind of subconsciously figure out what you're actually doing when you're hitting pitch shots without really having to think about it, because this gives you the perspective that you need to figure out what you do. And then from there, go ahead and write it down or think about it, be pragmatic, and figure out what you need to do to get better, right? All right, let me know how this helps.